Welcome. Hello, friends and family. Welcome to day 53, cycle 3, day 10 of my quest to crush aggressive diffuse large B-cell lymphoma, stage 4, also known as DLBCL, ICD code C8339, and we're using the Immunotherapy chemotherapy R-EPOCH to crush lymphoma. 53, can you believe it? Okay, call back. When Bill and I first got married, the condo we lived in was numbered 53. There you go. That was a long time ago. All right. Let's start with my mental health. HeadSpace, Noodle. I'd say overall today was a pretty fine day as far as my brain goes. Mental health. I didn't have any significant concerns. And really, I spent the day reminding myself to do nothing. Be. So that was kind of my mental health mantra or theme for today. Do nothing, just be. So I went about looking for a quote that could go with that. And I came upon a somewhat commercial article that was referencing some research done by some different scientists. And I pulled one of the scientists' quotes from there. So it's a little different, than we usually get, but I think it's valuable for me to remind me and also for everybody else. So let's get going. So here we go. Science is starting to show the value of spending time in silence, in nature, and in not engaging in constant external stimulation. We need time doing nothing to be our best selves. Well-rounded and creative human beings. The doing side of our nature needs a being side to be in balance. Sue Smalley, PhD. So I thought this was pretty valuable. I mean, as I said, and you guys all know, I'm kind of a active person. Definitely a fidgeter, definitely move. But I'm reminding myself, particularly in these days when I don't feel great, that I have to do nothing, to allow my body the time to heal and regenerate itself. And I think that all of us, in some sense or another, need a reminder that sometimes we need to do nothing. I mean, I think that's why meditation is so popular, because it's an opportunity to do nothing, but you're officially doing something. But really, turning off and doing nothing is the way to replenish ourselves all the way through. All right, so that's my spiel. Let's talk about my to-do list. All right, the very first thing on my to-do list was relax, so I think I did that okay. Now, there's a lot of things on my to-do list, and I want to mention that most of the things occurred in the first hour I was awake, except for the crocheting, which took place over the course of a portion of the day. So the first thing I did today was prepare my oatmeal. I had run out of my prepared ones, so I had to make some. So I'll talk about that in a minute. So I had run out of my roasted pecans, so I roasted pecans. I'm going to insert some pictures here. I just want to show you it's not really that big of a deal. So here they are, raw pecans on a piece of parchment paper. I stuck them in the oven at 350 on convection bake, I think. Don't quote me on this. Look it up yourself. I don't want to make anybody sick. I set the cooking time on my oven for 5 minutes and then the timer for 7 minutes. And I actually left the room, went upstairs. I don't remember what I did. Got dressed or got ready for the day, went to the bathroom, whatever. Came down, the timer was beeping, the 7 minutes had expired. I took the pecans out of the oven. There's this picture here. And then the most strenuous part of roasting pecans, from my perspective, because all I did was dump them on a sheet and stick them in the oven, was chopping them, because I like them a little more finely chopped to be. So here's a picture of them chopped. And then here's another picture in the mason jar that I'm going to store them in for the rest of the week when I sprinkle them on my oatmeal. So yes, there was some effort there, but not really. It's not all that fancy, guys. I just roasted them to keep everybody safe. Okay, which I talked about at another time, I forget. All right, the next thing I did today was prepare oatmeal for the week. So here's a little quickie picture. So it occurred to me, I don't remember when, was it last week or this week? I used to put all the dry ingredients for my smoothies in a mason jar, and then when it was time to make the smoothies, I would dump them in with the fruits and vegetables or whatever was in the smoothie, and then I would use the mason jar to measure the liquid that I was adding to the smoothie. And I was like, well, I'm already treating my oatmeal kind of like a smoothie, right? I'm putting all the add-ins in. I wonder if I could just do that with all the dry ingredients and then just use the jar to add the water when I'm ready to cook it. Thumbs up there. That was genius. So what I did here, you can see there's three jars, and I eat about half a jar, the equivalent of half a jar every day. So this is almost a week, and I made one today. So I have enough for a full week of oatmeal here. And it's not prepackaged, it's just regular oatmeal, but by preparing it myself, I don't know, it took me this maybe 5 extra minutes to prepare all 4 instead of just the one that I made for today. Right? I just scooped them into 4 jars instead of 1, which made sense to me. So now I'm all ready for the rest of the week. I don't have to really exert any particular energy. The only thing I need to add is any fresh fruits and the water to cook it. And I'm done. So thumbs up there. I thought that was a stroke of genius on my part. When I woke up today, and for most of the morning into the afternoon, I believe, we had snow again. Welcome to the northeast of North America. What else happened today? So I did work on one of my pick line sleeves. I was pretty happy with it, but now I'm using it. I'm a little disappointed. You can see it here. I made the hole for the elbow much smaller. I'm very happy with the stitching. I made it very tight, but I measured around my arm at about 10 inches, 18 centimeters, maybe a little less if I pull tight. But all the documentation says make sure that you don't pull anything too tight because it could cause, swelling, and it makes you at higher risk for clotting if you have anything that's inhibiting, right? So I'm trying not to do that. So when I did the measurements for the yarn, I measured at 8 to 8.5 inches for the diameter, and then I worked from that, in the round. And, eventually it kind of worked itself up to almost 10 here. And then I reduced on both sides, brought it in, and it was pretty good, but it's loosening over time. So I'm kind of disappointed from that perspective. It feels good. It feels excellent. It's not too hot. It doesn't feel too bulky like some of the other ones. It's a much thinner weave and all that stuff. It's flat. I'm deciding now if I wash it and put it through the dryer, if that would shrink it enough. The other choices, I did buy some elastic that maybe I could weave in towards the top and just like tie a little bow. And then I can make it tighter and looser as I need to if my arm swells at all. But then it won't have any smidging. And it's not moving too much while I'm wearing it right now. But when I take clothes on and off, my robe or my shirt or something, then it gets pulled. So that was a little disappointing. I was hoping it would be tighter, but I was kind of balancing the line between making it too tight and maybe causing a problem and making it too loose. So this is just one. This is very similar to the ones I already made, right? It's just a simple sock type of sleeve. I'm still working design-wise on the one that closes and maybe can close tighter. So maybe this is kind of making an argument for having multiple layers of buttons. So if my arm's smaller, it can be tighter, and if it's bigger, it can be larger. So I'm gonna start thinking and working on that kind of stuff. So that's all up here. I gotta work on that. And here's a picture, kind of a little bit up closer. I don't know how many I put here. I know there was one with my full arm, and then it might be a close stitch work. Maybe I didn't do the close stitch work. For those who are interested, the stitch I used, although I modified it a little bit to put it in the round because I didn't see any tutorials that way, it's called the primrose stitch. Fairly simple, straightforward. It had chains, single crochets, and double crochets. So, it's just a matter of putting them in the right order. As is all crochet, right? So, but I thought it was a fairly basic stitch. It wasn't too complex. A beginner could do it, probably. Well, a beginner to intermediate, someone who's comfortable in their crocheting skills. Okay, what else can I tell you about? So that was that. Snow. So right now, as we speak, while I am sitting here talking to you, I am cooking dinner for my family in the Instapot. I'm not sure I'm going to eat it. I haven't decided yet. It depends on what's going on with my mouth and how I'm feeling. I'm nothing fancy. I think I did sweet and sour meatballs and rice, and I'll probably cook some vegetables when I get done with this to, balance it all out. I think we have some chicken fingers, but I don't know that we have chicken wings, and Sam was like a little bit lamenting that he didn't have big game day foods, so I thought maybe the sweet and sour meatballs would make him happy. We'll see. They are popular in my family, so hopefully everyone will like them and enjoy them. It's a little bit of a treat. All right, so that's going on. I think that is all I have on my to-do list. So again, like I said, my to-do list seems very large. Most of it was done in the first hour, except for the crocheting, which I did, of course, most of the day. The only other thing I'm working on right now, and hopefully you're going to see this, is I'm doing some education and research on finding a picture editing app for my Android phone to spice up my thumbnails for these videos. So if today's thumbnail is awesome, let me know with a thumbs up or a comment. I found some software and I used it, so I learned something new today. So I feel like I did something. So I definitely was working on doing nothing, and physically I did very little. I did not move much. I'm not sure I'm going to make it to 7,000 today. But I mean, honestly, there were some times during today that my butt was hurting from sitting too long. I was like, I got to get up just to move my body. I can't take it anymore. But I moved very slowly and cautiously and, listen to my body. All right, so my to-do list for tomorrow. I have to go to work, I think, unless things are really bad and then I'll call out. But right now I'm planning to go to work. I will continue to rest and heal. I have some work stuff to do. I think I mentioned already CV and some training classes, which I put off. So I'm going to try to at least do one or two of those things tomorrow. And I need to follow up with short-term disability. If they haven't sent me mail on Thursday or Friday while I was out of office, I'm going to, reach out to them on tomorrow morning. Okay, and that is it for my to-do list, I hope. I'll consider myself successful if I get through that list tomorrow. I'm keeping it short until I'm feeling stronger and better. So that's my plan. All right, so I'd like to acknowledge some angel deliveries today. And very similar to my angel deliveries last week, I'd like to really sincerely thank my neighbors. In particular, the one or ones with the snowblower who continue to snowblow us out our entire driveway, in front of the cars, behind the cars, and keep us safe, really, right? If there is an emergency, we will be able to get out of here or have emergency vehicles get here. So I really feel so supported and honored and treasured that they take the time out of their day to help us in this way. So thank you so much. And today's snow was a little bit heavier. It was definitely a wetter snow. I could tell when it was coming down. There were big flakes, Usually the teeny tiny ones are the snowy, airy ones. But in any case, it's another day. So thank you so much. And everyone else, I'd like to give you thanks as well. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to jump into status now. So if you don't want to stay for status, we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for coming today. And overall, again, I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm not feeling great. I won't be, running or doing cartwheels or anything extremely physical or mental for that matter. But definitely better than a few days ago, right? So I have to be grateful for that. Every day is a little improvement. So that's good. Thank you. All right, let's get into status for eating. Nausea. Today has been managed totally by inactivity and regular eating and drinking. I did take both medications last night, but that's the last time I took them, and I think I'm going to do it again tonight because I had some success today, I thought. So that's my plan. My mouth pain, yes. Teeth pain, yes. Throat pain, not too bad. It's tolerable. My weight is holding. New picture. Here you go. No real loss. Might have been a smidge of a gain. I think it's really almost a straight line you could see in the picture. So I'm happy with that. Again, as I mentioned, I'm not trying to lose weight. I was concerned it was so high, but I think we know now it was probably fluid. My fluid intake yesterday was under goal at 72 ounces, which is 2.1 liters. Still above the doctor's direction, so I feel safe with that. My out was 1.7 liters, so according to this, I took in more than I got out, but yesterday I was a liter over, so I'm not going to stress about it. Seems like we're all evening out. All right, my other chemo symptoms. Neuropathy is really the same as yesterday. I think it is more significant than it was before. I'm feeling it further down my fingers. I feel a little bit in my toes. I didn't have that experience last cycle, so I feel like it's a little worse, and I will report that. My hair loss, status quo. I'm not really noticing much difference. No nose clots, night sweats, some no. It's really hard for me to tell if it's truly night sweats or it's the temperature in the house. I think we're at 72 or 73 downstairs, but not sure. It's an Headache, no. Fatigue, yes. Red skin, no. And I think no chemo brain, but you guys keep me honest. I feel pretty good. My brain feels pretty good. All right, let's talk about sleep. My sleep was 6 hours and 47 minutes. No naps. My movement was 5,700 steps. My vitals have been fine. And no doctor news. Just checking my status sheet here, guys, to see if there's anything I'm forgetting to tell you about. No, I think that brings us to the end. So again, if you stayed to the end, thanks. It was a pleasure. I really enjoyed having you with me today. Thank you so much for joining me. And as always, thank you for supporting me, loving me, lifting me up, giving me power for these. I've been getting private messages and texts and so forth from lots of folks with their love and support. So I really appreciate it. Thank you. We love you. Remember, every day is a gift. Live it.